Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election. Now, there's a new report by the Tony Blair Centre, which is a think tank that is studying uh, democratic developments around the world, that is involved in encouraging development in emerging nations like Nigeria, and it's also supporting democratic development. This institute or this center has produced a report ahead of Nigeria's 2023 general election, and the Blair Institute itemized some threats that are facing the 2023 election in Nigeria. The Blair Centre identified Muslim ticket of the APC. It identified Boko Haram. It identified bandits. It identified indigenous people of Biafra, among others, as groups and things that constitute threat to the 2023 general election. Now, I have taken my time to look at what the group said, this center, the Blair Centre said. But I have my own conclusion to it is this. These groups that they mention are not the major threat to 2023 general election. The major threats are the politicians, their utterances before, during, and after the election. And I will tell you why. And before I do that, if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, let us look at this. My postulation is this. The major threat to 2023 election is not these non-state actors they mention. It is the actions of the politicians, their utterances, and then action and inactions of the Independent National Electoral Commission. First, if the Independent National Electoral Commission conduct free and fair election, there will be no problem. There will be no threat. So first of all, the Independent National Electoral Commission must ensure that they adhere strictly to the Electoral Act. They adhere strictly to the Electoral Act 2022. On no account should they deviate from it. Already there are lobbies by the national chairman of APC, Abdullah Adamu, saying that beavers cannot work in all the places. They should disregard that and make sure that beavers work, because it is when they begin to alter with the arrangement, then there is a problem. And I'm happy that many Nigerians too are, when the chairman of INEC, the chairman of INEC said that they are going to go ahead with beavers and all the technologies that have been approved under the Electoral Act. So that takes care of it. If they stick on that, I think there will be no problem. Then the threats that should worry Nigerians, as I said earlier, was the utterances of the politicians. Look at what the presidential candidate of APC, ISWAP, said in Jos when they kicked off their campaign. He said this election, this election is a fight. Of course, you know that a fight actually ensued in that Jos. where they were throwing stones and stuff. I will put the video under this video where Aswad Bola Tinubu said that this election is a fight. So that you know that these are the kind of comments, utterances that will lead to crashes. Okay? And it is sad enough that Tinubu deliberately excused himself from signing that peace accord of political leaders, of presidential candidates. He deliberately excused himself from it. Because ordinarily, it would have been made mandatory that he comes there. But it was his vice presidential candidate that represented him. So if somebody signing on his behalf, he can as well claim that he wasn't the one that signed any peace accord. You can see the kind of words he used on peterobi, that it's a disgrace to mention peterobi's name in his presence. These are the kind of utterances that fuel violence. We are talking about this is coming out from the mouth of a presidential candidate and not from any of his aides or supporters on social media. Those are the real threats. And the real threats are the entitlement position of some of the presidential candidates. When Atiku Abubakar was in Kaduna to interface with coalition of northern groups on what he will do for them, he said it clearly and everybody saw it and listened to it. He said that what the North need is not a president from a Yoruba president or Igbo president. That what they North need is a northern president. These are the kind of utterances that creates challenges and problems for the election. They are the real threats to the election, rather than IPOB or Boko Haram or bandits. These are the major threats to the election that will make or might utterances of politicians. So politicians need to watch their mouth. Look at the vice presidential candidate of APC saying that peterobi can only be president in Igbo land. These are the kind of utterances that are real threats to the election. Because the other threats can be easily contained. And in fact, that these threats are even exaggerated. And I will tell you why. The IPOB they are talking about, IPOB could not stop elections in 2019. It could not stop, it cannot stop the election in 2023. IPOB have not been able to stop any of the staggered elections in the southeast, especially the one that took place in Anambra State. There was all the noises that IPOB will do this or that nobody will come out to vote. But the people of Anambra proved them wrong. And IPOB didn't make any effort to stop that election from taking place. Then there is the issue of destruction of INEC materials, attack of INEC offices, which is taking part in many parts of the country. That's a threat that needs the state, with all the instruments of power that it has. It has police, army, DSS, National Intelligence Agency, and what have you. If all these people cannot be able to track those who are destroying INEC offices, and then what's the essence of their being in existence in the first place? Nigeria is not a banana republic. I agree that Nigeria is heading to a failed state, but at least it still has some institutions that should be able to call some of these non-state actors to order. If Nigeria is really serious, it can be able to contain the bandits, the Boko Haram, the so-called IPOB or ECN that the Blair Centre is talking about. These people can be contained, and they have been contained before. Despite the Boko Haram, there was an election in Northeast in 2015, in 2019, and there will be another one in 2023. But what will cause more problem, as far as I can see, is the utterances of politicians, the sense of entitlement, the denigration of their opponents. Those are the real threats that need to be handled. And then INEC should be able to either say that elections will not take place in all those areas controlled by bandits, because bandits have been terrorizing several communities, occupying several local governments in northwest of Nigeria. In Katsina State, they're occupying almost 12 local government. They are in control of 12 local government. In Niger State, about 9 local government. And this is in similar parts of the country, especially in the north. So if those places are not secure, then there should be no election in those places. Or they can make arrangements where those voters from those areas can go and vote. That government can handle. So these terrorists like Boko Haram, the bandits, to me, they are not the main threat. The main threat is the attitude of the politicians. Let's take it, for example, now the Muslim ticket of APC. Why did APC allow Muslim ticket? They could have called Bola Ahmed Tinubu to order and say, look, you can't run Muslim ticket in this party. Look for a northern Christian to be your vice presidential candidate. That would have settled the matter. But because of the selfishness of politicians, they allow it to fly. This is even taking note of the fact that when this same Tinubu wanted to do Muslim ticket with Buhari in 2015, Buhari rejected it, said that that can't fly. So why did Buhari keep quiet now? Why? Who is Tinubu that cannot be called to order? By the leader of the party, President Muhammad Buhari. So if there's any problem that has to do with this Muslim ticket, you blame the APC, and most importantly, the leader of APC, President Muhammad Buhari. Tinubu and his supporters used to deceive themselves that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is national leader of APC. He's no national leader of APC. The national leader of APC is President Muhammad Buhari. He is the leader of the party. So he ought to have called Tinubu to order. So the issue of Muslim ticket being a threat to the 2023 election was a deliberate booby trap set for Nigeria by the APC, because they know what it means, but they allowed it to fly to see what will happen. So they are to be blamed. And I was surprised that Blair Centre didn't blame them. It's only blaming the ticket for allowing that ticket to stand. The leader of the party, President Muhammad Buhari, should be held responsible if it is one of the things that will lead to problem in this election, because he allowed it to fly. You could have called Tinubu to order and said, look, this your position that you can only win with a northern Muslim. It's not true. You can win with a northern. You have to balance this ticket. But they didn't do that. They allowed Tinubu to get away with his Muslim ticket. And in 2015, when Tinubu came up with the same idea that he wanted to be vice president to Buhari rejected it. Perhaps they know that he would have been dead on arrival, especially when they were contesting against an incumbent president who is a Christian. Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. So this Politicians are determined are the really threats to the election. The actions of our politicians, of course, which Buhari's action ahead of the APC primary and after the primary, his action, his aloofness, because nothing stopped him from calling Tinubu and say, look, you can't have this. Can you imagine Obasanjo doing after 8 years in 2007, and he will tell the presidential candidate of PDP that this is what we want you to do, and the person will not do it. No, okay. Obasanjo can't take that. So why did Buhari take it? Something that he could not tolerate in 2015. Why did he tolerate it in 2023? He rejected Muslim ticket in 2020, in 2015. Now he's allowing it to fly. People can deceive themselves by saying, it's not the choice of the Buhari, it is Tinubu's. No, Buhari could have stopped him, but he didn't. And now, Tony Blair Institute is saying it's going to cause a problem ahead of the election in 2023 if it is not properly managed. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you are not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.